ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today we're set to hear the agenda of a regular meeting of the City Commission of Rio Grande City, Texas. Today being Thursday, February 27th, 2025, and the time being 12:02. I'm going to move forward to item number 1 with roll call. And Mr. Commissioner De Leon?
Present.
Mr. Commissioner Ediel Barrera?
Present.
Mayor present. Mr. Commissioner Olivares?
Here, present.
Commissioner Barrera?
Here.
We have a quorum. We're ready to proceed forward. At this time, I'm going to ask that everybody join me in the invocation, and I'm going to ask the birthday boy to lead us in the invocation.
Thank you, sir. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here today to make decisions that affect our beautiful city. We ask for a true servant's heart so that we can make decisions based on the facts that are presented to us. Please give us wisdom and discernment to make the best possible decisions. We ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Amen. And at this time, if you could please join me on the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now to the Texas flag, please.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. We move forward to item 1C, public forum. Do we have anybody signed up for the public forum?
Yes, sir. We have Mr. Eloy Garcia.
Mr. Garcia, are you here? Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I don't envy you. I've been there before. As a matter of fact, time flies. I was there in 2006, 2007, I went to the county. Almost 20 years next year.
Wow.
You know, and looking back, there's accomplishments that you make and some, you know, the way it is here. But one of the best accomplishments we had when I was there is that we got this charter going that you have right now.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you all decided to go with a 2-year or 2 time limits for that. That's pretty good. I thought that was a welcome addition to the charter. I really thought it was good because you're showing that, you know, you want the city to continue progressing, but different people coming up. That was one big thing that we had. Another big thing was that in 2006, we approved the development contract with the Robinson family for the land across Walmart. It took all this time to get to where it is. And look at it now. And I was reminded of last year, I had a friend of mine that was very sick, went to visit him. And he said, and he was a member of the council also, you know him, Guadalupe Amador. And he said, yes, sir. They said, you remember that contract that we did with that family? Yeah. Can you see it now? And said, the next week, he died. So, you know, I know that you have those issues that come before you, and the decisions you make will come back. The people that bought this building, I was just telling somebody a while ago, they stole this building. They really stole it. Nune and Chachi, those are the people that were there. They should be very proud of themselves because 20 years from now, it might be their biggest accomplishment ever. Okay? And you never know. And the reason I'm here is on 7D, because that contract, and I saw Patricio come in, he wasn't here. He was receiving an award from Congressman way out of his office for 45 years in service. And he said, I'm not going to make it because I have this at 11:30 and blah, blah, blah. He said, well, I'll go by because I'm a citizen of Rio Grande and I'm concerned about this also. And I need to let you all know that I'm very concerned because, you know, nobody bothered. He has a contract for the garbage. Nobody bothered to let him know, hey, this is going on. This is happening. You know, he is from here. He's been in business 45 years, like I said, and he's been doing this work for some time. And I just thought I'd let you know also that you need to really look at you know, I know how things work. You have a budget, you submit it to state, the school district does the same, the county does the same, and you have to adhere to that budget. And every line item that you have has to be accounted for. And if the sludge was not included in the garbage contract, somebody should have. If I remember correctly, and I don't know who the attorney was back then, but somebody should have included it, because you really cannot pay a vendor without having a contract in place. That's part of your fiduciary responsibility, especially your business manager and you all, because you have to have that budget item in place to be able to expend money, especially over 50,000. And I don't know if you did it or not, or if it's, or you have a way to do it. You're still responsible for the payment that needs to be done. The only thing is that on an audit from the state, which they usually come around, I've been involved in a lot of different budget items with different categories in the school district, in the county, and even here, and they do come around. And you have to abide, and you have to look at, and I'm cautioning you to be very careful on what you're doing with this, because you never know what's going to come back and affect you in another way. And I'm very honored to have been part of the city. You know, it's something that in every different commission that comes accomplishes something, and they keep going. And it's something that's why I like that idea of 2 terms, because it's something that keeps going. But we all have to do, like Mr. Olivares said, what's right. And I think I've heard good things from the mayor and some of on your administration now, and I want you to continue forward. I want you to do good, but also be advised that you have to look at this items, because this gentleman, Mr. Hernandez, has a small company. He's been in operation for 45 years, has 30 employees. One employee might lose his job, might not be too much, but it's one employee that eats from contracts that we have for the city. And you have to be mindful of that, because one employee, and now, in closing, if it's politics, I understand that. I've been on the ballot 13 times in my life. I've won 10 and lost 3. I know how to win and I know how to lose. There's no shame in losing. No shame in losing either. But if it's for politics, I understand that. I know that my compadre Patricio had somebody placing stuff in his window. He reported it to your police department. And one of the things that really irritated me was that they were telling him to go back to Mexico. You know, he served his country as a border patrolman and retired from there, and then you have somebody telling you to go back to Mexico. You know, you got to be careful with stuff. So, but if it's for politics, it's okay. That's something that we can all understand. Otherwise, if it's not for that, look at what you're doing and be very careful with that. And I thank you for your time, and continue doing good for the city.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. Thank you for taking the time to be here and express your concerns. I can assure you that your concerns are going to be addressed, and we're going to do it the right way.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have anybody else signed up for public forum?
Yes, sir. We have Orlando Campa.
Mr. Campos? Welcome, sir. Mayor.
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Orlando Campa. I represent Texas Advertising and Media and Blood Moon Films. This is my film partner, Abel Gonzalez, so he'll be doing most of the talking.
Welcome, sir.
My name is Abel Gonzalez. I've been at this meeting several years ago, and we've been trying to work on a project that would benefit the city and us mutually. We're trying to bring down a movie that would have a budget of $3 million. We've been trying to make an industry in the valley to help our actors, production people, the city, and I think that we can establish a relationship with the city, and what we're offering is to bring a movie down, and what we need is permits for filming to satisfy insurance requisites, maybe some traffic control, a street closure. There's a scene where there's a Day of the Dead parade. We would need some help orchestrating that, and maybe even the city could help make a social media campaign to find us extras that would get paid. This is a SAG-AFTRA union project. Everybody has to get paid. And in return, what we would offer from Texas Advertising and Media, we would film a documentary style video that you could use to advertise yourself for future films. That's really what we're looking for, to establish a relationship with the city so that we could help bring you more films. I've shot a movie here before. A former mayor was in one of my movies, and I just fell in love with the city. Once you pass a certain part of Hidalgo County into your city, it's a whole nother world. It's cinematic. I want to help you bring it to the world.
Sir, thank you for being here, first of all. I think that the city is not going to have an issue with that. If you want to coordinate with our planning department or with our city manager, I'm sure that right now we're in the position that we want to invite as much commerce and business that we can into our city. So if there's any accommodations that you would need to produce your film, we'll be more than glad to assist you. Just please coordinate with our city manager or city officials, and we'll be more than happy to be a part of your film.
Thank you. Furthermore, I see that you have the pitch deck.
Yes.
The Laborde House inspired this actual screenplay. I went for a tour. The story is my story, but I hired Mr. Campa as the director and the writer, and he fleshed it out. But this building spoke to me. It's the way film is. Film is it's a medium with it's about emotions and feelings, and that building has so much to tell.
Right.
You have some beautiful locations. The proximity to Mexico, I could see companies coming down here to film. Netflix just gave or promised $1 billion to film within the next 4 years in Mexico. So if they want to be close to Mexico, what better area than Rio Grande City?
Right. Exactly. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. We're going to move forward to the consent agenda, item 2A. And,
I need to do reports.
Departmental.
Reports, Mayor.
I'm sorry, yes, that is correct. I skipped 1D, departmental reports.
Beginning with police department.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission. On the police department side, I'm glad to announce that we hit our limit for our police academy coming on April 4th. So current numbers are at 30.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully by the time September rolls around, we'll be graduating hopefully all 30 of those students.
Congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you. Police department also wanted to advise you guys, our second commercial vehicle enforcement officer has been certified fully by the state.
Which one is this?
The CBE, DOT.
Oh, wow. I'm very
Yeah, so he passed Friday, so he is fully certified by the state. So now it's the transition into the training. Our body cams that we ordered back in December, January are out on the field and they're operational.
Great, sir.
Also, we will be selling a property in auction that was seized. It is on the corner of San Seferino and Ringgold Street. South Texas Auctioneers at Adana will be selling it. The property is 115 by 42. So it's right behind the now city park, which was the old county park.
Oh, okay, yes.
So, want to thank publicly our Public Works for helping us out. We cleaned it out. So signs are going to be up soon.
Is it in good condition?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's all we have to report.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Fire department.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City
Good
Commission.
afternoon, sir.
Oh, I'd like to address the community just to let you know that the fire department, as far as the calls volume on the month of January, we established 59 calls in all. As far as mutual aid, we did encounter 5 mutual aids for the community that we responded to for the community. 1 structural fire and 4 grass fires that we assisted in the community. As far as what we got going on for the fire department, we started on also doing maintenance for the fire hydrants. So we're doing that, just to let you know, the advisory, let the community know that we'll be opening up some fire hydrants. I know they tend to call the police department to let them know that there's been fire hydrants that are open. And I said, well, just to let you know that, yes, we do open some fire hydrants to do some maintenance on them. Let's just let them know that not to worry, we don't leave them open at all.
Right.
But we do maintenance on them, and we do have to open fire hydrants. And just to let them know that we do close them out as well. And as well as training as well for ourselves. Fire department have to have 20 hours of training every year, and we are doing that as well. We do some trainings that involves within the community as well. No, and then that's about it. That's as far as what we have on the agenda. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Municipal court.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
So what we would like to report is the fact that on Tuesday, we had an afternoon court setting, and those DOTs are really making a difference. We had over 30 individuals come in and make payment plans and arrangements with us. That afternoon, we brought in $8,000 just to sit on those citations. We're expanding on the night docket next month. We'll probably have 1 day out of the week, which will also encourage an amnesty program for the individuals that have warrants to come in. We'll waive all those fines and the warrants. That's number one. Number two is that we're very happy to say that we met with the representatives of Linebarger 3 weeks ago, and they are trying out some text messaging with some other municipalities, and they have said that that's a great increase in revenues for them as well. So that's something that we're working out. I spoke to the chief of police, Mr. Joey Solis, about implementing, getting new cell phone numbers from individuals that are stopped for citations, so we can start sending messages about court hearings and whatever warrants they have. Nowadays, people don't really open their mail like they used to. So I think this is a new implementation as far as using text messages. The other thing we want to advise the board is that we've got some bids on the expansion of the municipal court. As some of you may know, the offices are real small. We needed this. We've submitted some bids. Hopefully that'll be taken care of today so we can start on the project very soon. We had set some money aside last budget so they can work on it for this year. So that's another thing. Lastly, what I want to express to the board is that some of you may know I've been helping out the law enforcement as much as I can as far as signing warrants. As a licensed attorney and a judge, I can sign some warrants that other judges, JPs, can't sign. So there've been more traffic towards my way, helping them out. But we did hit a snag, the fact that some of the warrants can be signed by me only if we have a court of record. Our office does not, our court does not have a court of record. I'm getting together with the DA's office, the county attorney's office.
And you mean to have a court reporter?
Not a court reporter, we can do recording. We can have a recording system, but then we would have to have a server. We would have to have space to see how long we can have those recordings for. I'm meeting with them next week. We're going to see what the cost is, and we're going to see how long we have to have those recordings. And I think that the DA suggested was maybe doing by YouTube. They stay there. So those are options that we're trying. And first of all, I guess I would ask the board if that's something that the board would want us to do, is to do a court of record.
I would be inclined towards approving that because, of course, we're trying to raise the bar, we're trying to be professional, we're trying to offer more. So, to me, I think that's a good idea. One of the things that I would suggest is that you talk to our IT director. Maybe he may have some solutions that might be cheaper for your court, but obviously we have some resources that may assist you.
Right, I don't think it's, I think the more costly situation would be the server, where to store all the recordings. But if YouTube is something that's allowed, maybe we can go that route and save all that money. So we'll be in contact with the IT department and in contact with the DA's office. And if that's something that the board is inclined to do, I don't know, we have to pass a resolution on that, or
To put it on the next agenda.
we can put it on the next agenda.
And one of the things that we would need for us to consider that is your numbers as to how much money your court has been producing and to see if we can justify that expense coming from your budget, or if you are going to need additional funds.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. I've got my 3 points of, we've been working on the 2nd Street, the yellow corners. We started on Monday. We plan to finish around maybe next week. We've been working with EDC, Mr. Barrera. At the fairgrounds, we installed all the food booths and the big tent. And we installed it, and when it finished, we took it off.
Yes.
And I've got another, we've been cleaning a property on Escobedo Street, working with code enforcement. That's another good thing that we're not finished, but we're almost finished.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
And
much.
any other questions for me?
No questions, sir. No, just wanted to say thank you for everything. And I've noticed that you're taking care of the striping, not the striping, but painting of the sidewalks.
Yes,
here on Main
we're
Street.
gonna take care of the East Street also as well.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to do a quick rundown on the monthly report from January. We did a total of 158 permits. Out of those 158, 25 were health permits. And we also did 14 plan reviews, which are 10 residential and 4 commercial. Also, I'm having all staffs to be certified for food handlers or food managers. So if anybody has a question, calls the office or does walk-ins, anybody in the office could answer any questions for the public. Also, I would like to congratulate Mr. Jaime de Leon. He received his license through Texas Department of Agriculture as a vector control. In the audience.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
We also issued several certificate of occupancy. One business is Vaquero Truck Stop, located at 3425 West Highway 83. R&I Professional Service, located at 1442 Fairgrounds, and Deli Corner at 1201 East Highway 83. Any questions?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many licensed vector control officers do you
At
have?
this moment, we have 4.
At one point, we had 1, but now the city's got 4, so if need be, if there's always a need for vector service, you got 4 qualified people.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Library?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good afternoon. Good
At the library, the month of February so far, we've had over 1,621 visitors come into the library. Besides our day-to-day programs and our weekly programs, right now we're working on the job fair and employer expo. This morning, in the past, we used to have a workshop on resume writing and interviewing skills at the library the day before the actual job fair, but this time the committee decided to do it all together. So this morning we had a workshop there at STC. We had 20 attending, so that's very good because in the past that number was low. And then also to help our job seekers, we give them up to 5 copies of their resume for free at the library, and people really were taking advantage of that. And even today, people were coming in to print out their resume. Next we received a grant from Save the Children. Save the Children is a nonprofit organization, and this grant is to promote art, music, and dance. We are having art venture classes at the library, programs every Tuesday. This week we had a full house and we had some parents joining in with the art. Every week we'll be doing a different activity. Our staff is taking that on. In addition, we're partnering with KE Studio Dance and Fitness, and we'll be doing dance tots on Tuesdays, and that's for ages 2 to 5, and on Thursdays we're having dance kids ages 6 to 12. I'm also happy to report that we just submitted this information out, this flyer out on Wednesday, and those classes are full. We already have them full, and we have a wait list for that. And also, we're partnering up with Star Music Academy. We decided to do something different with the music part, and we're going to have a ukulele camp, and that class is also full. So, very excited. People in the community are also obviously very excited to join in. Right. We do have the wait list. If we see that people are not able to continue, we will be calling them. As a part of the grant, we bought the ukuleles, so they're on order. So we'll be starting those up real soon. My staff and I will be dividing up our time so that we can divide and conquer and have a representative at each of these events, of course. So Art Venture will continue at the library. We will try to accommodate as many children as we can. The dance and ukulele workshops are full.
Wow,
thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners.
Good afternoon, sir.
For Parks and Recs, for financials, we're currently at 36% to our yearly budget, so we're right in line in that aspect. When it comes to sports, Pee Wee football came to an end a week and a half ago with the Bengals being the champions for this year. Coach Randy Romo and the fire department were the coaches for that team. It's nice to have the city departments participate in children's sports. Baseball, Fall and Winter League has come to an end. Trophy ceremony should be today, but depending on the weather, I don't want to postpone because I already ordered things for this event, for this evening. Pony registrations continue to be strong, over 350 still pending the teams that I have now. So it's going to be twice as big as what we had in the Fall and Winter League. Basketball League, with the 3 days that we have just open registrations, we will have over 100 registered people already. So, players. This year we added 7th and 8th graders and 9th and 10th graders. I've had positive feedback from the coaches, the community, that it was about time we did that. So we'll see more of our athletes, children athletes there in the court. For the parks, expenditures, I know this week we replaced a sprinkler system pump. For Silver Star Park, we added 2 soccer goals. We replaced all 6 new with nets. So all 6 soccer goals has nets there. One of the things that we're currently working at Basilio Park is putting fence around the pumps and electrical panels. Because it's easily a child or somebody could go open it and it's a hazard. So we're currently working on that. For personnel, I want you to introduce Eric Escamilla to you guys. He's been with the department for 12 years. This gentleman has been the face of Parks and Rec for the past 8-9 years. He's the one that handled registrations, weekly reports, monthly reports, POs, everything. So, Eric, I want to say thank you for what you did, and you are February's Rio Grande City February's Employee of the Month.
Well, sir, congratulations. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We appreciate you, and I'm sure that the whole community is very happy to have you here today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, get on the side, if you don't mind. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mayor, I forgot to add one thing for the basketball league. We got with the city of Roma. So the 7th and 8th graders, 9th and 10th will be having a joint league with the city of Roma. I'm reaching out to the city of Zapata and La Grulla so we could get a bigger league for those age groups.
Thank you for your efforts, sir. Thank you so much for that report.
Thank you, appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, fellow commissioners.
Good afternoon.
I'll be briefing you in my top three. In your package, you have my little cheat sheet. It gives you everything that we're working on. And just to remind you, it's for official use only. There's some stuff that we don't want to give out to the public just yet. So for my first one is the boost grants. That is a very successful program. We ended up issuing all 10 of them with a total of $25,000. We do have a couple that are still interested. We're going to readdress that with the EDC board to see if we're going to be able to address it this year or wait till the next fiscal year. But we got all 10. We got one facade grant that was awarded as well downtown. So those are very popular, the boost grants. The second one is the job fair, as Ms. Fools mentioned. Very successful. I was there this morning. The potential employers want to do this at least every 100 days or more. The potential is there to hire. If you notice on your cheat sheet, we are at 10.1% unemployment. The valley average is 6.2. The state average is 4.3. So 10.1 is a little bit high for our area. So we need to inject our efforts to continue the process of bringing investors, potential investors, to do the job creation. I met with the McDonald's folks. They're going to be hiring about 15 to 16 full-time employees. That does not include their 2 managers who are coming from the valley. And they're going to have at least 4 to 5 part-time employees. So it's about 20 employees that the new McDonald's on the west side is going to employ. So that's good news.
Do you know when they're going to be opening by any chance?
They don't want to release that information yet, but it looks like it's going to be in the late April timeframe, April-May timeframe. My third point is the sales tax. You got the information that the December tax rate that we got was 710, which is about $70,000 higher than last year. So there is a potential here. There's folks that have money to spend. This is good news for the whole, actually the whole valley got a higher rate of spending from last year. So this is good news. We do have potential investors coming in. I do have a meeting next week with an investor that's looking to bring 3 new venues to our city. We cannot release those names yet. You have them in your little list there. So that is good. So it's moving. And as to add that, we're also focusing on our downtown. We cannot forget our downtown. There's a potential investor who wants to purchase the old Berta Motel, turn it into a BR&B. And there's also a potential investor that wants to purchase the old WIC building next to the Post office, another, we cannot forget about our downtown, the old town. So we're focusing on the St. Vice development. We also focus in the middle and on the west. So things are moving fast. The Main Street coordinator will brief you on our plan that we have for how we're going to revive downtown. She's going to be briefing that. Pending your questions, this concludes the portion of my brief.
Thank you. No, I had some questions about downtown, but if she's going to be addressing them?
Yes, she
Thank
will.
you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Falcone and Commission. I'm just going to give you a brief update on some projects that the Public Utilities Department has. I'm going to start off with the Monroe and Lopez Street sewer expansion. I just met with the engineer during this week, and we're going to continue moving forward. He's working on the bidding package already. So hopefully he should have it by next week. So we can get working on that project. Second, we're going to continue installing meters. With the emphasis, we're going to pick up the pace that we installed 2 recent new meters, the Holiday Inn and Quality Inn, and we also installed the irrigation meter of the Holiday Inn. So we're going to try to get more, hopefully 5 or 10 by the end of the month. And another one is on the shut valves that we're doing. We're isolating certain areas when we have leaks, so we can focus on shutting down certain areas. It won't affect the whole side of town or a big side of town. So we installed 2 of those shut valves already in El Arroyo and in front of Melrose. And we're working an additional to install right outside of Fort Ringo Park. And on the last item I want to touch base, we're transitioning, moving our distribution department to our new, I want to call it new, warehouse facility. We originally was going to be the animal shelter. So it's going to be, right now we're about 90% already have moved our inventory over there. And we're cleaning it out, and actually we're about to be installing new vanities and toilets and stuff. And I need to get a hold of, I'm going to reach out to contractors to start getting bids on actual fixing it up, and the certain parts that need to be fixed up.
Very well, sir. Thank you.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions?
None from me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Personnel?
Good afternoon. Before you have my report. One thing that I did want to let the commission know that we have an employee that has retired from the city with 28 years of accumulative service with the library department. She is here today. This is Ms. Leticia Guerra. And if the commission would be kind enough to take a photo with her, please.
Of course. Let me come over here and say our sincerest thanks to you for being here, for being part of the city. I know that everybody here appreciates all your work and effort, and never believe that it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And with that note, sir, I had not posted any job openings, but this is one opening that is now being posted on our city social pages. The position that has been left vacant from Ms. Guerra's retirement. And I too was at the job fair this morning, and I did leave job descriptions and applications, and we were taking applications for this particular job opening.
Very well.
That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good afternoon, sir.
I want to give an update on where the city stands in its property tax. I know last year I told you all we're the 6th lowest property tax holders in the valley. Well, this year we moved up 1 spot to 5th place.
Okay.
We moved over Mission. Again, doing a good job in the tax rates. We're keeping it low and still managing our budget with it. Like Mr. Barrera mentioned, our sales taxes for the month of February were $710,000. That's the highest the city has ever seen in its history. I know just 18 months ago, we firstly hit the 600 mark, and now we surpassed the 700 mark within 18 months. This is the first time it's ever happened. As far as revenues and expenditures, I want to give an update on the revenues. The city's, again, sales taxes are high, property taxes are high. Interest rates are not where we expected them to be. Of course, the interest rates have been going down. We have a lot of money out that hasn't been reimbursed on grants, so our interest revenue is not where we wanted it to be. It's a little bit low. It's at 18%, 19%. Well, it should be at 33% right now. Municipal court fines are also lower than what we budgeted for, but on a positive note, we have seen an increase in the last 2 months, almost doubled from the first 3 months of the fiscal year. I also want to tell the judge they also have some funds available for whatever he's wanting to do on the collection of each fines that they do. There's some money that goes aside that are specifically for certain expenses, and I'll be getting with him to let him know how much money he's got available for that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Oh, and on the water department, the revenues have increased by $324,000 also with those meters that we have installed, the new ones that we weren't getting any revenues in the past. We are now seeing those. So in the first 4 months of this year, $324,000 more compared to last year.
4 months?
In 4 months.
So, $80,000 a month? 1.2 million for the year?
Yeah.
Wow, technically.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission. Okay, at the museum, well, first of all, with the help of Ms. Sara Hernandez, the museum applied for the Texas Preservation Trust Fund grant, sponsored by the Texas Historical Commission. Hopefully I will be getting some information on that soon. And also with her help, I will be applying for the T-Mobile Downtown America grant writing and grant submission is new to me. This was not something I did in my previous career as a teacher and a librarian. Those things were taken care of for us. So, but I'm learning. Also at the museum last month, we had 2 lunchtime events. The Heartfelt Health lunch time event with Dr. Dilip Menon. That was in collaboration with the DHR Specialty Clinic. And then finally, I opened up a little new exhibit to celebrate this month, which was our Founders Day event. Aside from that, I've received a couple of new acquisitions. Thank you, Mr. Olivares. I've done the research. I'm getting ready to get those up and into some of the display cases in the museum. And thank you, Public Works. They made me these beautiful rustic wooden walls, and I have some beautiful arrowhead displays that are there. I've prepped and attended the Starr County Fair. Yes, it was very cold and wet, but the police department is gracious enough to make a little room in their booth for me to go ahead and give out some promotional items, and we gave about 300 or 400 in just the day and a half that we were there, that we were able to go ahead and go through the cold weather. Also, museum tours have continued. Of course, that's in conjunction with the trolley tours. The last stop of the trolley tour, of course, is the museum. And as Mr. Trevino has said, he's been getting people signing up for basketball. Well, a lot of times they come through the museum. So I have a captive audience that says, I'll take you. Go ahead. And when you're done, go ahead and come on into the museum. So that's all I have for you. If you have any questions for me.
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For everything.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission. Our Heritage Tour was a success. We had this last week. The new tour is part of a new partnership between the 2 sister cities to promote tourism on Starr County's history to locals and visitors alike. This tour takes visitors through some of the most historic spots in Rio Grande City and Roma. The next tour date is scheduled for March the 20th. We have an upcoming Main Street strategic workshop designed to foster collaboration and discussion on improving our historic downtown area. The workshop will begin with a trolley ride through the district, allowing us to view the buildings and identify opportunities for revitalization. Along the way, we will take notes and discuss key points related to building improvements, enhancing downtown festivals, and more. This hands-on session will be an invaluable opportunity to brainstorm, share ideas, and develop actionable strategies for our future of Main Street. And lastly, Downtown Market is just around the corner. The market will take place at Britton Avenue, Saturday, March 22nd, and this event is from 6 to 10 p.m. This event promises to be a great opportunity to support local vendors and connect with neighbors while enjoying the atmosphere of our downtown area. Any questions?
No questions, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know I'm not on the list, but I wanted to give you some updates on some projects. Mayor Commission, we had a call this morning with HUD. I know we've been anticipating the East Water Loop project, so we finally were able to get a hold of some members of that organization and make some updates so that we can get moving with that project. We do have an award letter of $2.5 million, and that's going to address the water pressure issue on the east side. In addition, we're already moving on an application with EDA for Hill Country Drive extension, so we'll be having a meeting next week with the developer, also with our grant writers, GrantWorks, to get that project moving. In addition, through our border zone grant that we're currently on, we were able to purchase an ATV. I know myself and Mr. Milan went out there and got to go off-road for a little bit behind the public safety building. So if you all get a chance to go by the fire department, I encourage you to do that because it was lots of fun. And this year, you'll see it later on in the agenda, but we're going to apply once again through Border Zone, and we're anticipating to get new radios, both portable and mobile radios for our fire department because they're quite old, they're missing parts, and we know that this was a cost that we were looking at covering through the city budget, and there was some resistance from our finance department of let's look for a grant to cover this, so luckily we were able to find something. So that's the update on that. And we're also planning for our State of the City event. We'll be inviting the community very soon and looking for sponsorship so that we can present all of the happenings that occurred during the last year and working with the departments to put out that information. So I know Valeria and the group are working very hard on that. And also, we did put out the date for our Freedom Fest event. So this will be the 10th annual Freedom Fest event, and that's happening June 27th and the 28th. And I've asked the directors to participate in our co-ed softball tournament and our cook-off teams because, well, we want to be out there representing the city in our own event as well. So help us spread the word that these events are happening because they're really great for our community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Valeria?
Hello, good afternoon, Mayor and Commission.
Good
Thank you all for being here. So I'll be presenting the monthly report for the Rio Grande City Public Relations Department, me. So for this month, I joined as a co-host for the Lunch Break podcast with the EDC with communication specialist Melinda Gomez. So we are trying to get our guests. One of our very special guests was our very own Mayor Falcon. So we did really great. The feedback was really amazing. So it's just a way to get the community to know our new commission. So it was a great initiative. Also, the Real Review News segment is consistent. We put out content every week, and we like to give a recap of the information and the events that are going on here at the City Hall. Our Heart Health segment for the month of February was quite successful. We showcased a variety of ways to take care of your heart health, exercise, eating well, and also our latest episode coming this week will be managing stress. So I think that's really important for everyone. And our citywide cleanup informational video was very useful. I spoke with Public Works Director, Mr. Hector Barrera. They have gotten more people into the 14 acres. So it's gotten a good response, helping people disseminate the correct information. And we also created some Valentine's Day cards to represent our departments. We also got some really good feedback. It was a fun and interactive way to showcase all of the departments here. What to expect in March. So for this March, we are trying to include more of the departments that I didn't get to highlight in February. So Public Works, Planning, and Public Utilities in our spring segment, which will be spring cleaning. If Mayor and Commission has any comments, suggestions, or anything that they would like to include for this month's social media calendar, please let me know. I'd be happy to help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
That should conclude the department reports.
Very well, okay. Moving forward to the consent agenda, item 2A, approval of minutes from previous meetings. I'm going to do the approval of item AA, AB, and AC at the same time. And at this time,
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve item 2A, A, B, C,
and I was going to recommend that we also approve D as well.
and D as well.
Okay, does anybody second the motion?
I second.
Motion has been seconded. Discussion or questions? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Now we move to item 2B, approval of department travel requests. Do we have any travel requests at this time, Mr. Milan?
Yes, we have from the planning department.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon, sir.
We're requesting a trip to San Antonio for one of our inspectors to be certified for commercial construction. This is a 1-week course, and it's in prep them for the test.
Okay, and do we have anybody certified for that?
Myself.
Oh, yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have an
We
additional.
have an additional person.
Very well. Okay. Do we have anybody else?
Yes, the finance department.
Mayor Commissioners, I'm requesting a trial request for April. This is for the GFOA Spring Conference. Normally, all the financial advisors go to it. I haven't been there in the last couple of years, maybe the last 3 or 4. It's very informational. Talks a lot about the budget, the fund balances, and everything about the city. So I would really like to go this year.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And that is in the package, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. Anybody else?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve item,
I move that we
2B?
approve item 2B as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We move forward to number 4, ordinance A, approval of second reading of the amended ordinance number 94-1401, granting an extended time period to Medina Electric Cooperative, Inc., a franchise for the operation of lines and for the sale of electric lights and power within certain areas of the city of Rio Grande City, Texas.
Mayor and Commission, this is a second reading so that we can get up to date with Medina Electric. I know the last time we were here, the commission decided to go up 2%, so that still stands. At that point, once we've taken the second reading of this ordinance, we will notify Medina Electric of this increase.
Very well. Thank you, ma'am. Do we have a motion to approve this item?
I move that we approve item 4A as presented.
Anybody second?
I second.
Motion has been seconded. Any questions or concerns? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Moving to 4B, approval of second reading of ordinance number 2025-01 to regulate the use of Rio Grande City by private entities.
Yes, also brought up in last month's meeting was a new ordinance to regulate the use of the word Rio Grande City for businesses. We want to make sure that we are reviewing who is using that name, as it causes some confusion that it is the city owned or city operated. So this second reading will allow us to make those determinations through our planning department.
Thank you.
Mayor, I move to approve 4B as presented.
Second?
I second.
Motion has been seconded. Questions, concerns? Having none, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving to item 4C, approval of first reading of ordinance number 2025-02, requiring permits for door-to-door sales activities within the city limits of Rio Grande City. Mr. Milan, this ordinance is, they've been published, correct, by Mr. Lopez on the webpage?
This one is first reading.
Okay, true, that is
Yes.
correct, okay. Just so that we can be conscientious that once we have the final reading and it has final approval and it's ready to be published, that these ordinances go to the webpage so that people can have access to the ordinances. I know that we were trying to transfer the old ordinances. We don't have the finality of that, but in the meantime, I would like to see the ordinances that we pass to be published in our webpage so that people can actually know what's allowed and what's not allowed. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. This ordinance is going to be a door-to-door ordinance. We actually do have one in place back in 2001. So I did consult with our city attorney. We're going to sit down and just iron it out and see what we could add onto the existing one.
Okay.
Okay.
Very well, sir.
Do you need a motion, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I move that we approve item 4C.
Second?
I second.
Motion has been second. Any questions, concerns, or discussion on this item?
I do have a concern on this one, and it might apply to the police department. So, Chief, on the last 2-3 months, there has been a huge concern, and I can speak for myself. I experienced it with these door-to-door vendors. So, for the last 3 months, some of them have been coming from the valley, and they seem extremely
suspicious.
You can say they've been scaring community members. It happened to me. I was doing some homework in my house when some van just pulled over and 3 individuals just came down. They were knocking on my door. My daughters, they thought that my daughters were by themselves, and they insisted too much on opening the door. I want to show you how these cleaning materials work. Please open the door. And my daughter was like, no. So that's when I called the police department, and I'm glad you arrived in a very timely manner and you addressed the situation. But these also happened to several neighbors. These happened to the neighbors in different neighborhoods as well. So I guess these people were not arrested that time. They checked for their driver license. I think they were okay. But it's scary, and I've been receiving calls from other citizens, not only in city limits, also with outside city limits. So I think we should take very good, close attention to these, because these can take to the next level. I mean, there's a lot of community members that left their kids alone while they are working. So something just to consider, sir. And this ordinance, if we approve it today, just to make sure like we enforce it. There's so many ordinances in the city that we don't enforce them, and so what's the point of having them? Okay, so I don't know what's your input on that, if you have received many other calls from these, but I did experience it myself, and it was not a good sign on these people that are knocking doors.
I think it's a very good ordinance to pass. We don't have to go back 2-3 months. As of Tuesday night, received several calls from several of our citizens. It was already, sun had gone down, reporting a suspicious van that kept knocking on doors. Ended up making contact. They were salesmen. But, it's 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night. What are you doing trying to sell anything to our community?
Can the ordinance include time, like a time limit? That they can only, be able to solicit from a certain time to a certain time?
Yes, it can.
With the first ordinance, we'll be able to, first reading, we'll be able to add anything that needs to be added. But I think it's a good idea, and hopefully this slows these type of vendors.
One of the things that I would suggest is if you could get together with our PR department so that there could be a notice, perhaps some publication, so that we can create awareness.
Awareness, yes, sir.
To our community members, and if they need some help, that they feel free to call your department so that we can address it.
Yeah, because some of the door-to-door vendors don't even have a badge, so they're
A permit.
or a permit. Yeah, but
So hopefully it'll help us out. And I know they've been very pushy, trying to get into the residents, and you don't know who they are, so this will help. And like the mayor said, I think bringing awareness, would really help.
Yeah. So the whole, one of the purposes is also for vendors to register with the planning department. So that way you have control as to who's out there vending, and people can inquire, either the police department or
Perhaps
the.
require some identifiers so that
Correct.
people can see and.
From the city?
Yeah.
And
Some
should there be a?
identifiers that they said, hey, you've been vetted, you are a vendor,
Yes.
and
So should there be a liability, you have a register as to what kind of vehicle they drive, who is out there selling, whether it's vacuum cleaners or roofing services?
Right. Okay, very well.
Okay, can you work on those requirements
Yes.
so that they can come and apply, pay for a permit, and they can be fully identified?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chief.
So,
It was moved in second.
I'm sorry?
I moved and Mr. Barrera second, I believe.
Right, okay, so do we need to amend our motion and include a time and also identifiers?
It can be included in the second reading.
In the second reading.
Okay, very well. We're ready to proceed with voting. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item 4D, approval of first reading of ordinance number 2025-03, regulating the parking of heavy and commercial trucks within residential and commercial areas of Rio Grande City. Chief?
Mayor, Commission, city currently does have a similar ordinance, but it's a very old one, not very specific. With this ordinance, it would regulate parking of 18-wheelers, buses, any oversized vehicles in any of our residential areas. It would also designate our city manager to make alternate routes for these types of vehicle. Not only does it takes a lot of space, damages our streets, and you get neighbors complaining that you have 18-wheelers going through their neighborhoods.
Is this going to be enforced through fines?
Correct. And the fines still would need to be figured out.
Okay, you don't have a schedule of the fines or whether or not there could be towing of the vehicles?
The towing, yes. If they receive notice that they need to move it and they refuse to do it, or they've been cited before, we can tow away their vehicle and they would be responsible for all the towing fees.
Yeah, I think that one of the primary motivators for people to remember things is if there's a fine associated with the infraction. So I would recommend that you work with our legal department to create a fine schedule and then implement it into this ordinance.
We're also going to get together at municipal court and compare other cities so that it's comparable. We would like to invite the public truck drivers specifically to reach out to us with ideas because we know that it affects their livelihood as well.
Right.
So we are working on it together.
On that part, I want to encourage you, if you can maybe find a space, talk to gas companies, maybe they can come up with a parking space for them. And I know it's difficult. They don't have a place to park them, and maybe we can come up with a solution. That's what big cities are doing. They have truck stops, and that's where they can go and park them. It is difficult, the damage on the streets and the neighborhoods. They're always also calling us on that A, because they have this big truck right on the lot next door. So again, just like the mayor said, if we can enforce them just like the other one, we have to. That's exactly what these ordinances are for, to enforce them.
Correct.
Please.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve item 4D?
I have a motion to approve 4D as presented, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion has been second. Any questions, concerns? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving to item 5, resolutions. A, discussion possible action to approve Kelsey Bass Museum Advisory Board bylaws and the adoption of the amended and restated bylaws.
Yes, sir. I went ahead and took the commission's recommendations, and the language was sent to me by legal, and you will find the recommendations and the new language on Article 3, Sections 4 and 5.
And I believe, I did review it, and I think this addresses one of the items, or one of the concerns that we addressed last time that we were here. What was the section, ma'am?
It was Article 3, Section 4 and 5.
That is correct, yes.
And the language was provided to me by legal.
That is correct, ma'am. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
If there's no objection, Mayor, I move that we approve item 5A as presented.
Second?
Second.
Motion has been second. Any questions or concerns regarding this matter? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution 5B, discussion and possible action to approve text pool resolution amending authorized representatives.
Commissioners, and this one, we're just updating the users that can access the accounts at TextPool. That's one of our investment accounts that we have. We currently have two accounts there, one for the general fund and one for the public utilities. They each have a little bit over $1 million in each one. But
And who's going to be the approved
I'm just-
agent?
That would be me, the one, but I'm adding Ms. Hernandez and Mr. Milan in there, because they
very
weren't
well.
in there before.
Very well.
I move that we approve item 5B as presented.
Second?
Second.
Motion has been second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution 5C, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-07 to authorize the city manager to apply for and accept a grant from the Department of Justice and Office of the Governor for the Crime Victims Liaison Grant number 3087909 for the fiscal year 2025-2026.
Mayor, Commission, this is a resolution, it's part of a grant that we submitted. This would allow us to continue our Crime Victims Liaison Grant, which pays for the salary and training of our Crime Victim Liaison, Imelda Cruz. We're applying for a total of $45,268 with 91 cents. Out of that, there's a cash match of $11,317 with 23 cents.
Very well, sir. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve this item?
I move to approve 5C as presented, Mayor.
Second?
I second.
Motion has been second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Item 5D, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-08 to authorize the city manager to apply for and accept a grant from the Department of Justice and Office of the Governor for the Violence Against Women Formula Grant Program, grant number 4050606 for the fiscal year 2025-2026.
This is another grant. This is the Violence Against Women's Act, which pays for the salary of one detective. Currently, it is Eli Gonzalez. We are applying for $60,681 with 85 cents. That covers salary and training. There is a cash match of $18,430 with 16 cents.
Very well. Do we have a motion?
So move, Mayor.
So moved. Do we have a second on the matter?
Second.
Motion has been second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving to 5E, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2025-09-07 to authorize the city manager to apply for and accept a grant from the Department of Justice and Office of the Government for the Drug and Human Trafficking Prevention Program grant number 2785012 for the fiscal year 2025-2026.
This is another grant that the police department applied for. This is straight salary for one of our officers who's an interdiction officer, Fabiano Ramirez. There is no cash match for this, so the total amount that we applied for was $53,000 with $8.40.
And these are grants that you had received in the past, correct?
Correct. I believe the VAWA is the youngest one, I would say, with about 8 years.
Okay.
The interdiction and the crime victim one, it's a little bit over 10 years already.
Okay, very well. Do we have a motion?
Mayor, I move to approve 5E.
A second? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. 5F, discussion and possible action to approve the resolution number 2025-10 to authorize the city manager to apply for and accept the grant from Border Zone Fire Department, RGC grant number 5097-802 to be operated for the fiscal year 2026.
Mayor and Commission, in an effort to continue to bring grant funding over to our city, we're applying once again for our border zone grant. We're in the process of submitting that application, and this resolution is necessary as one of the documents. And this is a 100% grant up to $250,000, and it'll cover 11 mobile radios and 20 portable radios.
This is a new grant?
We received this grant last year, but we purchased the ATV, fixed the motor on the brush truck, purchased wildline equipment, the extrication tool, and with all of that, we stayed within our budget. As mentioned before, the fire and the police department approached the finance, myself, a city manager, about needing new radios, and I followed up and found out that we could acquire them through this grant.
Okay, very well, ma'am.
I move that we approve item 5F as presented.
Do we have a second on the motion?
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Questions or concerns? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. G, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-11, an application filing an authorized representative resolution for the drinking water state revolving fund application number 63011.
This application resolution, we had already passed back in January for both the EDAP application and the drinking water. Although back in April, it had to be revised for just the EDAP application since they were reviewing it. Now we have to revise the project name and the funding for this application resolution as well for the drinking water.
Very well, ma'am. Do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
I move that we approve item 5G as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions, concerns?
No, sir.
Mayor, I do need to take a vote for who would be a for and against, just for this specific item.
For this one?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner De Leon? Commissioner Ediel Barrera?
I approve.
Mayor, I approve.
Approve.
Commissioner Barrera?
Aye.
Unanimous vote on the matter.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving to item H, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-12 for the legislative session 2025-89 for infrastructure needs, park improvements, public safety equipment, and other related projects.
Mayor and Commission, we're working with the TREV group to be more competitive with grants. This is similar to getting earmarks, but this is requested through the form of a rider, working with our local and state representatives so that we have an upper hand when applying for grants. And the intention here is to seek funding for additional sewer improvement projects to areas that do not have sewer within city limits. Also, a parks improvement grant at our Fort Ringgold Park. Also, equipment for both our fire and police department, and also for our public library for furniture, fixtures, equipment, and IT services. Also looking at funding through the General Land Office for the creation and implementation of a comprehensive plan for our city. And these are all 100% grant, except for probably the sewer projects. Those through Texas Water Development Board usually go through grant and loan. And there's a legislative session going on right now, so we have someone working hard to promote Rio Grande City in hopes that we get some of these riders. And we would still go through the grant process, but we know that we have an approval.
Very well.
Mayor, I move to approve 5H as discussed.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion has been seconded. Any questions? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2025-13 for the adoption of a drought contingency plan.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission. Yes, this is a requirement by TCQ. We have to have it every 5 years. So once it gets approved and signed by you, Mayor, we'll be sending it off to TCQ, and then we'll be posted on our webpage as well to notify the public. And this basically is a plan to have of action in case we go into a major drought. There's different stages that we have to. Stage 1, you have to limit this. Stage 2, and then to be proactive.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, very well. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you. J, discussion and possible action to amend resolution number 2024-2601 for the Texas Community Development Block Grant Program for the downtown street revitalization.
Last year in July, we passed the application resolution for the downtown program application that we did. As of last month, one of the policies that was passed under the resolution was updated by TDA, so we're needing to update this policy.
Very well. Thank you.
I move that we approve item 5J as presented.
Second.
Second, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Contracts and agreements. A, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of expenditures and contracts valued less than $50,000 but more than $5,000 that comply with or are exempt from section 252.0215 of the local government code.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, I have two items in there to discuss. One of them being to enter into a contract with Mr. Jeff Snowden from CAPEX to do a rate study on the wholesale accounts that we have. We currently have 3 wholesale accounts that haven't been updated for a long time.
What are those accounts?
It's El Saus. Last time we updated that one was 2003. El Tanque. Last time we updated that one was 2011. And Rio Water Supply. The last time we updated that one was 2008. I know currently we have our per 1,000 gallons cost to the city is $1.83. And it's remained the same price to them since for all this time. I know chemicals almost doubled back in 2021, right, and the price has remained the same. El Tanque normally uses an average of about 10 to 11 million per month that we provide to them, and El South 5 to 6 million. Rio Water Supply only has it as a backup in case they use it, but they don't necessarily get water from us. But I still think we had entered into a contract with Mr. Snowden back in 2020, but due to some administrative changes, he never concluded the contract. So there's already a contract in place that's already signed. He just never continued with the work. The contract was for $40,000. He did some work and we paid him $5,600, I believe. So there's an outstanding balance to him for $34,000. It's staff's recommendation to enter into this contract. I think it's necessary for us to do that rate study and see how much we need to update those prices to the wholesale accounts.
Very well.
And Mr. Snowden's also on the line if you all have any questions for him.
Who is?
Mr. Snowden, the one that would be doing this contract.
I don't have
He's also the one that did the rate study for our water rates back in 2020. We updated him, I think, 2022. So he's available if you have any questions for him.
Anybody's got any questions? No questions. No. And I'm assuming you already had this conversation with him. You already know the details.
Yes, we discussed it with the city manager and Ms. Hernandez as well.
And it's your recommendation that we approve it?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being here today.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to service to the city. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
And Mayor, Commissioners, I also have another item here. I don't necessarily have an invoice for it right now.
Very well.
But it's for our auditor. I know he's going to be submitting invoices for the month of March. The bulk of the work is going to be done here in the month of March. We need to have at least a draft done by March 31st to be in compliance. We've only paid him $20,000 so far out of his $70,000. So I know he's going to be submitting weekly invoices, and I don't want to have him waiting till the next meeting.
Mr. Hernandez?
That's Mr. Hernandez, yes, Raul
You're
Hernandez.
asking for approval of the remainder or?
Not the
partial?
remainder, as invoices come in, that we allow us to
Do
pay
you
him.
know how he's going to be billing and what
As
rates?
work is done, work in progress.
Okay, all right. Do you want us for us to approve an amount and then you come back? Or
Well,
do you
just
want-
not to exceed his contract. You all approved his contract back in July, up to $70,000. He does the city audit, and then he also does the audit for our grants,
Okay.
which has another portion of it. And he normally bills as work is done. Like I said, the bulk of the work is done in the month of March. Throughout the first 4 months, he's only doing not so much work on it, but this month he focuses on it to get it out of and done in compliance.
Okay, and I think what you're asking is you want for us to approve the remainder of the contract not to exceed the $70,000 to be disbursed as
Correct.
your bill?
Correct.
We are billed?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. Do we have any other?
Yes. Police department?
Mayor and Commissioners, as I earlier stated, we have gotten some bids to expand the municipal court. One of the issues is that the restrooms for the staff is outside. There's no AC, no heater, and the only way to get there, our staff has to go through the middle of whenever the residents are there trying to take care of their citations. That's been an issue. The other issue is that there's not enough space for the staff members that are there right now. One of them has to be in a computer at the courtroom at all times. So what this expansion will do is give us 2 more new offices, new bathrooms inside, actually 2 more bathrooms inside, and a little lounge area for the staff whenever they do take breaks. We did request bids from different individuals. Unfortunately, my guess is that some of them probably thought that it was too small of a job. So we only got 2 bids and one of them never showed up. The 2 bids there's a difference of $418. Reina Homes went and did a bid for $32,418. This other individual, who is kind of a mom and pop kind of individual, did the other bid for $32,000 flat. So the difference is $418. So what we're requesting is that this commission approve the Reina Homes, even though it's $418 higher. The difference is that they've been a part of this committee for over 20 years. We know their work. We know if there's any warranties or guarantee issues, we know that they're still here. We're not sure of the other person if he will be here in the future.
Okay.
So that's our recommendation.
And did you consult with Mr. Cantu?
We did talk to Mr. Cantu. Mr. Cantu did set aside $20,000 last year, so we're only asking a difference of $12,000, which he said that shouldn't be an issue.
That is correct. Yes. Yes, sir. Okay. Why don't we do this, gentlemen? Why don't we present the motion, and then so that we can continue asking questions. Do we have a motion to approve item A?
I move that we approve item A.
Okay, do we have a second?
If I may add, there's other departments also that need to present on this item too.
Okay, that's not it?
No, we still have.
Very well.
I'll wait.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, Commission, the police department, we have 3 things on this line item, all payments. First one is to Axon, which is our yearly lease agreement for our tasers. This is the 4th of the 5th year lease that we have with them. That one's for $7,541.25. The next one is the renewal of our membership for all our patrol units and office vehicles for Blue Wave. That one, March 1st, it is automatically renewed, so we need to bring it in front of the commission. So this allows our officers to wash their vehicles as many times as they want, so there's no excuse to have a dirty vehicle since we represent the police department and the city.
Right.
That one is for $6,836 with 58 cents.
Is this a renewal?
It's a renewal.
Very well.
The last one is the annual subscription for our new and blue tickets on the go. It's the app that we use to issue out citations, dockets. That one is $7,000 flat.
Very well.
Mr. Solis, did we ever have the other car wash also? Weren't we going half and half?
No. Before Blue Wave came in, we went with Go Car Wash. Go Car Wash was a little bit cheaper, but we were having issues with them that they weren't opening on time at that time. And once we went with Blue Wave, we've had one incident where one of our units was damaged and they fixed it. We didn't have to pay anything. They took care of the tap for that. So the service was a little bit better. That's why we decided to continue to go with them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We also have an administration for some of the events.
Hello, Mayor and Commission. Yes, so these quotes that we're asking for, the first one is from Versailles. That is for the State of the City venue. And in that quote will be included decorations. I believe the food is also included in the quote. So we did get a lower price due to the event being during the week. So if you guys can look over that. Also, we have provided quotes for the Freedom Fest. We compared quotes for the fireworks shows. Just wanted to clarify that Pyro is offering us $12,000 as comparison to Killer V is offering us $17,500. We are also recommending for the carnival rides to go with the RGV party rentals. The price is more, but the rides are significantly bigger. We also got a reduced quote. They worked with us, they offered us a discount. So if the commission is willing to accept that and look into that. And those are the only requests I have for the PR department.
Do you know which of the companies we used for the fireworks last year?
Yes, I believe it was Pyro Shows? Yes.
This is the same company.
Yes.
That's the one listed here in the package, right? That's the one?
Yes.
Okay. Got any other questions, Commissioners? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mayor and Commission, the $5,000 I have, it's usually our monthly bills, sir. We have our fleet for our vehicles, chemicals, and for the sludge removal, sir.
Very well, sir. Nothing new, correct?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mayor and Commissioners, the request I have is for the Silver Star Park light enhancement. The quote is for LED Light Expert is to install arena stadium lighting in that area. Also below, you'll have the quotes. I was pending one, but I already received the quotes for the electrician, but right now I'm just doing for the lights.
This is just for the lights, sir?
Correct, sir.
Okay. Very well. Thank you.
What we're having projects.
I have the invoice for Lafayette Irrigation, the purchase of the water rights that we did under the EDAP application. Earlier this month, I went ahead and already submitted for reimbursement. We are in the process of getting released 4.8 million. 700,000 was already approved and in the process of getting released. And we are only pending 1.4 million to be approved by Texas Water.
And the request is that we approve the full amount at this time?
Yes. I spoke with Mr. Martinez from Lafayette Irrigation. They will not do the transfer until it's all paid in full.
Okay, Mr. Cantu?
So whenever we have the reimbursements, we'll pay it out.
Okay. We're going to pay out once we get the reimbursements? Or
All
right
the
now?
reimbursements,
I'm
yes.
sorry?
When all the reimbursements are in, it's when it's going to get paid out.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't issue out any payments because they won't issue out any water rights unless they get the full 7 million. So I know Oneida's already submitted 3 outlays. We're just pending one.
One to be approved and processed, yes.
They sent an email yesterday. I haven't checked the bank accounts this morning. Yesterday I was out, so I don't know if they've already deposited the 4.8. I'll check as soon as the meeting's over today.
Okay, very well, yeah. This is one of those items, like it happened last time, that I want to be 100% clear that we're not paying money out of pocket and that we're paying it from the grant money. Because last time there was a representation, not by any of you, but there was a representation that we had some funds and that we're using those funds to pay a significant amount when in fact we did not have the funds. So that's why I wanted to triple check on this amount because it's a large amount, but.
Yes.
No, we're staying on top of it. We don't want to fall into that again. I know what you're talking about because of course our interest revenues go down as well. We're paying that money out. We don't have that money. We're not making any interest. So
yes,
we'll make sure we're.
Thank you.
That should be it.
Okay. Gentlemen, do we have a motion to approve this item?
I move that we approve item 7A with discussion if necessary.
Very well.
6A.
6A.
Oh, 6A?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6A.
6A. Do we have a second on the motion?
Thank you.
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Any questions regarding or concerns regarding the payments that we're about to approve on this line item?
Nope.
All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries as presented. Discussion and possible, moving to item 6B, discussion and possible action to accept or reject bids submitted for the waste water treatment plant extension project, TWDB project number 73874.
Mayor and Commission, we went out for bid for our sewer expansion project. We received 2 bidders. However, with the allotted funds that we had for this project and the cost of the project that came in from these 2 bidders, we are currently under budget for $6 million. We worked with Texas Water Development Board and NADBank to seek additional funding so that we could cover the full amount. Texas Water Development Board was able to provide additional funding. However, it would be through 100% loan. So we would have to cover the cost. So obviously, our finance department was not having that. We were trying to find other solutions to come up with the funds or lower the cost of the project, the scope of the project, to something that would be more affordable. Our engineers are here, Meldon and Hunt. We met this morning and they proposed that they could drop the price by 25%, bringing the project to $9 million. However, again, we would be over budget by $3 million. We have asked them that we get the project closer to where the funds that we have right now, which is $6.5 million, are covered with the proposed project. Texas Water Development Board told us that we could apply for additional funding, but again, it has to get scored. If we score high enough, they'll invite us to apply, and we'll see where we land at that point. We could be on a 50-50 loan grant, but at least we know some of those monies are covered, or a 70-30. It all depends on where they're at with the funding and if we're able to qualify for certain exemptions.
Very well. So the proposition today is that we reject?
If you're asking me and our finance department, we've looked over the numbers. I don't want to make a recommendation to approve any of these bids because, as mentioned, they would put us severely over budget. When we worked with Mr. Snowden, actually, on our water rates, we asked throughout the project if this was enough funding to cover. So we haven't factored in that we would have paid anything additional out of pocket for this sewer expansion project. So at this point, the city's not prepared financially to take any more financial burden for this project. But our engineers are here, Meldon and Hunt, if you have any questions for them.
Do we have a motion to reject the bids that we received on this project?
I move.
That we reject the bids?
I move to reject the bids as presented.
Do we have a second? Has been second. All of those in favor to reject the bid, say aye.
Aye. Can we have a
discussion? Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Can I speak to the engineer?
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. For the record, my name is Mike Hernandez with Meldon and Hunt Engineers.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Here with me is Ruben James, one of our principal partners as well. As Mr. Hernandez was stating, we opened bids here on January 30th. We advertised in the local monitor. We also advertised in some plant holding rooms that solicit bids throughout the whole state of Texas. We also placed it in your website. And a lot of these advertisements were based on the procurement process and regulations and policies from the Water Development Board. With that being said, we opened bids on the 30th. We had 2 contractors that were responsive to the bids. The lowest responsive bidder was J&J Constructors out of the Mission area. That came in at 12.6. RP Constructors came in at $14.5 million. And as Mr. Hernandez stated, we are over budget. We are over budget by $6 million. We did an exercise to see if we can reduce the scope of the work, and the most I can reduce it as per the state requirements is 25%. we were able to remove some items to get us down to about $9.4 million, but that still leaves us short in budget funds. We still need 2.9 to do the work. What we did was we removed the items where it doesn't interfere with the process, it doesn't interfere with meeting the permit requirements from the state. So with that being said, we removed, for example, the lift station, the belt press, the RSWS pump stations, some paving, and some other items to get us to that area.
I totally understand that point. Basically, you said, in order to be in compliance, the most you can go down is 25%, right?
With this bid,
Yes.
with this bid.
Now, I have a question for you. When were you hired to work on this project? Do you have a date?
We were hired, yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me look at my notes.
I want to make sure that the community knows exactly when this project started. And I want to make it very clear that, of course, I think it's a total neglection from the city and from your company that led us to this point. Do you have a date?
We have a date, a year of about 2022.
2022?
Yes, sir.
So that's when you first were contracted to start working on this
We were
project?
engaged by the city to do the planning, the design of this facility.
2022, so 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025.
That's correct, sir.
3 years and a half. Okay? Now, normally, can you tell us how long does this project, a project like this, take to complete based on the needs, based on the severity of this project for your services in the engineering process? How long does it take normally?
Typically for projects like this of this nature, there's various phases throughout the whole duration of this project. That can take anywhere from 3 years to 4 years to get it all, the planning, the design, the construction, and also the funding acquisition part as well. There's also permitting requirements that we need to get before we can move into the design phase. One of the biggest obstacles that we encountered with this project here was getting the permit from the state. That took well over a year and a half to get the state of Texas, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, to approve our permit to be able to discharge additional capacity into the waters of the state of Texas in Rio Grande City.
Do you have a reason why that could be, why they took so long?
I don't have a reason. Understaffing from the state may be one of the reasons. I know for sure that we have documentation ourselves in the city where we're constantly asking for updates on that requirement. Once I get a permit from the state of Texas, then I can finish my design and turn it over to the Water Development Board so they can approve my contract documents, my construction plans, and they can give us approval to go out for bids. That in itself also took a long process.
Was that a year and a half wait, was that an anomaly or is that the norm?
That's not a norm. The norm is typically anywhere between 8 to 12 months to get a permit approved.
And this project was placed in a standby, right, for several reasons that you mentioned before?
I was put on hold simply because I didn't have a permit from the state.
Okay. So it was standby for how long?
It took us about a year and a half to get a permit. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's it for me. Thank you.
Anybody has any further questions regarding this project? Nobody? I just want to stress the fact to you, sir, that this is a project that's very important to us. We want to finalize the project as soon as possible. We would like for you and your company to assist us in getting this matter finalized because it's been taking a very, very long time.
I agree.
And time is something that we don't really have.
I agree with you, Mayor.
I just want to stress that fact, and hopefully we can move forward with this matter.
And Mayor, I also want to stress our frustration too with the state agencies to get these things moving because we understand the urgency of the matter and we want to provide you with a service that meets and satisfies your needs.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I just have,
Thank you.
us voting to delay it or to reject it,
the bid.
is that going to delay it further?
Well, that's, I don't think that we have an option because we don't have the money.
Yeah.
So we can't really accept them. If we accept them, we bankrupt the city.
I got you. Yes, sir.
So, obviously, if we were to accept it and we have the money, well, then we can start construction, but that's the issue. The money.
Understand.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
So having a motion, the motion is to reject the bids at this time. All of those in favor to reject the bid, say aye. Aye, motion carries unanimously. We're gonna leave item 6C to after executive session. I need to get some documents that were brought to me before we address this. So we're gonna leave 6C pending.
Do you need a motion?
No, I'm just informing. 6D, discussion and possible action to execute the engineering contract with Sames Inc. for the Texas Community Development Block Grant Downtown Main Street Program Contract Number CDM 240074 with TDA.
This contract was awarded to Sames last April for this project. So it was already reviewed by TDA and the state and GrantWorks as well. So they're looking for us to execute this so we can start the process for this project.
Very well done. Do we have a motion to address this item?
I move that we approve item 6D as presented.
Second?
I second.
Motion has been seconded. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Moving to item 6E, discussion of possible action to execute the Community Development Block Grant Agreement number CDM 240074 for the Downtown/Main Street Program.
This agreement was pending from TDA to be revised. They already made the corrections, correcting for the 12 ramps and the relocation of the concrete monument on Britton Avenue. So this is for the whole agreement of the $500,000 that was awarded to the city for that project.
Very well. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve 6E, Mayor, as presented.
Second?
Second.
Motion has been seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 7A, items for consideration and approval. A, discussion of possible action regarding surplus and donation of city property, non-realty.
Chief Muñiz?
What do we have here, sir?
Commissioner, this is yes, no, yes.
Old fire station.
Yes, they had given a lock, we currently did lockers.
It was a locker in an old pump.
Lockers and no pump that we have at the station currently.
It's going to be donated to the San Isidro Fire Department and to La Grulla Fire Department.
To La Grulla Fire Department, and I don't know, you all have currently the,
We have a letter from San Isidro.
You have a copy of the-
Like the lockers, and a letter from La Grulla indicating that they would like.
Wooden lockers and the twin beds,
yes, this is
the pump and the locker.
La Grulla wants the pump, I believe.
yes, La Grulla has,
And these are items that we're donating?
yes.
Okay, all right. Very well, sir.
And staff recommends approval of this, right? Yes.
Very well.
I move that we approve the items as submitted.
Second?
Second.
Questions? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you, sir. 7B, discussion and possible action to approve the Rio Grande City Police Department fiscal year 2024 racial profiling report.
Mayor and Commission, you have in your binders, the 2024 racial profiling report produced by the police department. This is an annual thing that we have to do and present it to our board before March 1st of every year. I'll run down, it's a 9-page stats that we have to input for the state. A total of 9,129 traffic stops were conducted in 2024. So it separates by race, gender. 4,270 were female, 4,859 were male. Out of those 9,129 traffic stops, 1,090 citations were issued. So it gives you a breakdown of the city, whether it was city streets, US Highway 3, county roads, private property. So it's a very long report that we have to submit by law every year.
Okay,
Very well,
Mayor,
yes.
I move to approve 7B as presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion has been second. Questions or concerns regarding this report? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Getting to item 7C, discussion and possible action to execute an MOU agreement between the City of Rio Grande City and rgc-tv for use of the airport.
Mayor, this is a MOU with the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council to be able to use the airport during our traffic driving portion of our police academy starting in April. So the MOU was typed out by the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council. I forwarded it to our legal. They actually said they really liked the wording on it and that believes that we should approve and be able to use it.
Very well.
I move that we approve item 7C as presented.
Second?
I second.
Second.
Thank you.
Questions? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving to item 7D, discussion and possible action to approve wastewater residual service agreement with Denali Water Solutions LLC.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission. Currently, right now we're using Grande Garbage. We're currently not in contract with them. As a director, we were tasked also to, run a more efficient organization, a department, and with the goals in mind, to set also is, how can we save some money and be able to also to increase revenues. So the Denali service will provide the same service as picking up our sludge from the wastewater treatment plant at a lot less cost. Roughly a savings, we're looking about $7,000 or $8,000 a month of savings. So something to consider for approval. It's a 6 months. If we go into this, it will be a 6 months. Based on that information, on those 6 months trial, we can go month to month on this or continue to renew the services.
Where is this company based out of, sir?
They have an office in Edinburgh, sir.
Edinburgh.
I do have a representative here, Mr. Tony Castillo, if any questions or anything, gentlemen.
One of the questions that I have is, do we have bids on this item?
No, sir.
Okay. What's Ms. Garcia?
She stepped down.
Is this something that we can discuss in executive?
The legality, yes, if there's legal questions, we can talk about it. I did review the contract and I did go over our existing contract. It does not have any mention of sludge, so we can talk about, I can show you all the contract and the proposed contract. We could also consider going out for bids.
My question is, if we need bids on this matter, and we didn't get them, and then we're here today trying to approve this contract, and I know that this is going to be an issue down the line.
Yes, sir.
So that's why.
Okay,
So do we need it?
I want to. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
It's over 50,000.
We'll be at the end of this.
Yeah, we do.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess the motion at this time, or
Let's discuss it over there,
Huh?
Let's take it to.
Okay, can we move it to executive to discuss
Yes, we
the
just need a
legality of the
motion.
bids?
Yes, sir.
Can we have a motion?
I move that we move item 7D to executive session, Mayor.
I second.
Has been second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 But just to clarify something with Ms. Garcia here, you just mentioned it, there's no contract with Grande Garbage at this moment. And if there was one, it was not included on the new one that it was provided by the previous legal department, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The sludge is not included in the current contract with Brandy Garbage.
If there was one before, it was not included to the new one.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. We'll discuss it.
But
Yeah, definitely.
But we've been paying
Thank
for the sludge? We've been paying, right? We've been paying them?
Yes,
Yes, we are.
We have been doing the service. And
So
okay,
it
we've
stayed
been
like
paying,
that?
but-
It stayed like that without, not having contract, but
Basically, month by month, Commissioner Barrera, yes.
okay, without doing any bids, right, as well?
Right.
So we were not in compliance. If we know that we have to go through bids, we were not in compliance as well.
Right. So
Okay.
it's just an item that we need to fix, we need to clarify it, but
okay.
we need to do it the right way. you know?
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes,
So, but
definitely, yes.
I like what you said. We're gonna save how much?
Roughly about 7,000 or 8,000, sir.
A month, or-
Yes, based on our calculations, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know. and
No,
thank you
definitely, yes.
Thank you for looking that savings.
Well, I know that's something, new commission, overall commission also, we've got to find ways to, and I know based on Mr. Milan also, we got to find ways to save money and bring more, both save and bring more. So, that's something we're also looking into, definitely.
Nice job.
And, yeah.
Thank you.
Obviously, saving money for the city is a priority, right? But we also want to make it fair to our vendors. And we have Mr. Garcia here speaking on behalf of Mr. Hernandez. So we want to make sure that everybody's treated fairly and respectfully, and I think.
Mr. Hernandez is here also.
Where is he? Oh, he just got here?
Yes.
Okay, very well. Yeah, so I think giving a fair shot to everybody is the right thing to do, and that's what we're going to be considering. And I think that eventually the motion today is going to be that we go out for bids, but we'll address it.
Definitely, thank you.
Yes, sir. Very well. Moving to item
8A.
8A, discussion of possible action on preliminary approval for Valentin Ranches subdivision.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. This is a development going on the east side of town, basically north of Mendoza's Auto Plaza. It is consists of 75 residential, single-family lots. It's within 1 mile ETJ. It is going to be serviced by La Union Water Supply and Sewer. This was reviewed by a contracted engineer. He did do his review, and we submitted everything to the engineer in record for this development. He's aware of the corrections. He is aware of the correction on the new subdivision.
This is going to be part of the city?
No, it's not. It's 1 mile.
Okay.
It's in our ETJ.
Is he willing to voluntarily annex, or he's not?
At this point, nothing was mentioned. We'll,
Do you mind asking
yes, I will.
if he can annex, or if he's willing to be
Yes,
part
I
of the city?
I will do.
And do we have to approve it today? And if we approve it?
This is just a preliminary.
It's preliminary approval. The only thing, what I'm not sure on that one, if it's right adjacent to our city boundaries, it's right immediately within our 1 mile ETJ, but I'm not sure it can be connected, so that's something.
We have to verify.
Connected to the services or to what?
No, we don't have neither water nor sewer in that
Yeah, in that
facility.
area.
Oh, we don't?
No, we don't.
And right now, La Union is providing both?
Yes, sir. They will be providing that service.
We can confirm on final approval, if it's adjacent to city boundaries, he can be asked, but he's got options.
Right. Well, I guess the only thing to keep in mind is for all the upcoming developers, the question should be, thank you so much. We appreciate your business, but do you want to be a part of
Yes, sir.
our great city? And I would like to encourage that so that you can talk to the future developments. But obviously, if we can't provide the service, that's going to be at your discretion. But I'm going to have this same question next time that you provide one of these flats, whether or not they're willing to be part of the city. And if it's not feasible because we can't provide the services, I understand that. Same thing on here. If we can't provide the services, I understand. But if we can, I would like to have them.
Yes, sir.
In the city. Perfect. So, Mr. Milan, at this point.
We recommend preliminary approval, yes.
Very well. Okay. Do we have a motion on this matter?
I move that we follow staff's recommendation for preliminary approval.
Second?
Second.
Any questions or concerns? No. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Discussion and possible action on preliminary and final approval of MC Rodriguez subdivision.
Mayor, this is a one-lot commercial. It's on the west side of town, just before Alvarez Road on the north side. There's no infrastructure, no streets being developed. It is going to be serviced by real water supply, and it's going to have its own OSSF system, which is the on-site sanitary facility. We did have it reviewed by a contract engineer. His comments were sent to the engineer in record. He will do all the corrections before the final.
Very well, sir. And it's your recommendation that we approve it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve item A.B. as presented.
I'll second.
Motion has been second. All of those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, we move to item 9, executive session. Do we have a motion to?
Mayor, I move that we adjourn to executive session.
Second. Second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much.
It's 1:58.
And the time being
1:58
1:58
p.m.
p.m. Thank you.
320.
320. At this time, we're going to go back to item 6.
70.
Not yet. 6C, discussion possible action to select a firm and authorization to enter into an agreement for agent of records.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve, as per the scoring tabulation sheet, the highest ranking company, which is Valley Risk Consulting Incorporated.
Do we have a second on this matter?
I second.
The motion has been second. Now it's open for discussion. Do we have any questions, concerns? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And thank you to all these companies for submitting.
Absolutely, thank you. Now moving to item 7D. Discussion and possible action to approve wastewater residual service agreement with Denali Water Solutions LLC.
Mayor, I move that we go out for bids on this item.
Very well. Do we have a second?
I second.
Motion has been second. The floor is open for discussion. Any questions or concerns?
Oh, just to thank this company from, what's it called?
Wastewater residual
Denali.
service.
Yeah, Denali, for bringing up these great rates for our city. So now we know that on the bidding process, we're gonna be saving at least $8,000, close to $8,000 to whoever the winner is. So good luck to the companies that will be bidding on these, and thank you so much for bringing these, and thank you to Mr. Eddie Flores for catching up these possible savings that the city can have.
So we're going to do it the right way. We're going to go out for bids. We're going to make it fair to everybody so that everybody can have a fair shot. I know that we have a vendor currently, and he's also going to be able to participate on the bidding process. But I think that's the fair thing to do so that everybody can get a shot. And it's also for the benefit of yourself, sir, because this is a matter that we were able to catch it, and without bids, we would have had to go back to square one. So we appreciate that you make the trip. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you don't consider this a waste of time. We sincerely apologize if it was, but I think that this is the right thing to do for us as a city, and we're going to proceed with biddings. All of those in favor to approve this matter say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Now going to
Number 10.
number 10, the executive session. Marty, do you have any recommendations?
Yes, Mayor, I
for motions?
I recommend that we move as discussed in executive session on 10A and 10C. There's no action on 10B.
I ask that one of the commissioners adopt the motion so that we can consider it.
Mayor, I would like to move that we approve items 10A and 10C as discussed in executive session.
I second.
Motion has been second. Any questions or concerns, discussion?
Nothing.
Nothing. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The last item on the agenda, 11, adjournment.
You can do that with one.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay. I been second. In favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We stand adjourned. The time being 3:24. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.